Hey everyone, welcome back to the Busted Grill Garage. Back out here working on the Eds10 tonight. And I think the plan for tonight is really kind of just to get everything ready to start putting back. So we've got transmission crossmember still need to pull, the fuel tank and fuel system. And then I think past that, I want to get the bed cleaned out because, well, we've just been throwing everything into the bed. And we're actually going to be robbing a lot of the fuel system out of Rufus. Rufus has got a 15-gallon aluminum fuel cell in it, and it's got a Holly blue pump. So I think we're just gonna, well, you see the state of the Impala. So I think we're just gonna pull everything out of it and put a fuel cell in the bed, mount the fuel pump to the passenger side frame rail, and kind of go from there. I don't know how far we're gonna get tonight. It's kind of getting late already, but we're gonna start with transmission crossmember and fuel tank, and of course fuel lines, and then kind of go from there. So before I tear in anything too heavy, I'm going to make sure I hit everything with the old blaster, just to kind of make things easier when we go to tear this stuff out. I've got the easily accessible trans crossmember bolts on the driver's side. Trans cross members out. Dad's working on getting the filler neck loose from the bedside. I'm fixing to crawl under. I've had the strap bolts for the fuel tank soaking for the last little bits. Hopefully they're not too big of a bear to get out. So I'm gonna hop under there and try to start getting those loose. I think the plans right now, I'm just gonna cut the lines. I think Dad's okay with that too. Just cut the lines, get them ripped out of there, because we kind of have, the only thing we're gonna use from this fuel system is the power wire to the fuel pump run into this Holly pump. Other than that, everything else can go. So I'm gonna crawl under here and start trying to get some bolts loose, and then we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Yeah, have been. Now you done it. Yeah, it'll pick up. There's it free. So I'm under here pulling the tank straps out and the bracket to support that supports the tank strap. And I get out from underneath the truck and look up. Dad's working on cleaning the bed of the truck out. And he says, you know, not everybody's got a 1967 storage unit. You know what he's doing? Rufus is going to come back, and I'm not sure when, not sure in what way, shape, or form. I might have a big block sitting right over here for it. But right now we have a 1967 storage unit that is filled with 1985 parts. So does that make it valuable or something? I don't know. But anyway, back to fuel lines. I've about got these brackets pulled loose. We get that done. Time to rip fuel lines out, and then I think we can start trying to figure out how we're going to mount a fuel cell in the bed of this thing. Dad's in there vacuuming out the bed of the truck, so I'm out here at Rufus, and I got my trunk key. I'm gonna see about I think it was the right key. Pretty sure it was the right key. Come on. Here we go. Oh. I guess Rufus has been a storage unit longer than I thought it had been. Headers off of Rufus. My homemade jankety on so many, well, I've seen worse. Exhaust. Battery. I think that battery's still good, actually. And then this, we're probably gonna rob this out of here to put in that S10 too, if we're being honest. But right now, right here's where I need to be. Getting crap cleaned off and those few little screws that are holding that in place. So as Dad's finishing up vacuuming out the bed for the first time in probably close to 30 years, we're about to the point where we can think about mounting a fuel cell. And I've done a little bit of research and haven't come to much of a conclusion on it just yet, but for the purposes of weight transfer, where in the bed does this need to be? Does it need to be centered over the axle or towards the rear of the truck? I mean, my research is showing both. So we've got this fuel cell, a 15-gallon fuel cell. We've got the kind of a universal sending unit there, of course, the fill, and then I think we're going to leave passenger side fill, or passenger side feed, I guess I should say, and kind of punch a hole in the bed floor and run down along the passenger side frame rail, just because it's going to be easier for a carbureted small block to run up the passenger side. I'd kind of like to keep it similar to factory is on the driver's side, just similar to how that is, but that's something we're gonna have to work out when we get to that point, and I think we're a little ways from it still yet. But for the time being, I do at least want to get this cell set up in here and kind of figure out where where its permanent home is gonna be.
We'll get up against the tailgate if you got gas. That open foot, ain't it? Well,
Kind of thinking. We got bedrooms here. Here, it needs to come this way.
well, we can center it up on those.
Yeah. If this is where we keep it.
Yeah.
But
Do that though, well, if you went that rail and that rail.
yep, we can do it that
If
way.
you did that way, you'd be in your way yourself there.
Yep. This might get fun over here. We're right on top of a rib for the feed line, but I mean, we could figure that out. And are you thinking we're just going to do rubber line?
Probably.
Okay.
We've got them grommets over there, that case of grommets we can.
The thing to that is, at most drag strips, they only allow you people that actually look at tech stuff. You're only allowed so much rubber line. It's either got to be braided line with AN fittings or steel line. But we can figure that out. That's no big deal.
It wouldn't be hard to do steel line, no further than that is.
All right, everyone, got the cell kind of positioned. It's either going to be right there centered above the rear axle, or it's going to be here towards the rear of the bed. But that's a project for another night. I'm kind of starting to think ahead too. Where's a battery box going to be located back here? I've got one I can rob out of Rufus for the same purpose. But of course, fuel cell, battery box, and then potentially, haven't made up my mind, not super committed to it, but where's that going to be located? And just things like that. It's kind of got to start coming together soon. I need to get the engine for this thing kind of put back together. I've got a set of aluminum heads, got a pretty sloppy cam to put in it, and some other stuff I've traded for that's going to be pretty good for the drivetrain. Of course, turbo 350 sitting back there, that needs to be gone through. And projects for another day, hopefully pretty soon though. So this is all we've got time for tonight. I think we've about got it to the point where we can start putting back. But engine comes next, I think, and then fuel system, electrical system. We need to get some mounts come up with somewhere. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, comment on the video, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later.